So it's a very deep, earthy sound. It naturally allows people to connect, to a deeper state of consciousness, to a meditative state of consciousness. And I think that's what really, really grabbed me.
Stephen Bachman first fell in love with a didgeridoo in 2004 when he met a healer from Peru at a retreat who used music to reach people and connect.
It blew my mind, it opened me up in a way that I had never been opened up before.
Stephen was gifted the instrument associated with Australian Aboriginal ritual ceremonies that Christmas and began to not only play, but to carve his own didgeridoos.
So in Australia, they have a termite that hollows out the inside of eucalyptus trees. So basically, the Aboriginal people, once they discovered that vibrating your lips through this tube would create an instrument, they would just go out into the bush, knock on the trees, listen for a hollow sound, and chop it down, clean it out a little, and add a beeswax mouthpiece so the hole would fit the mouth, and they would have an instrument. In Stratford, New Hampshire, we do not have those termites, so my process is a little bit different.
All of the wood Stephen uses is from his backyard in Stratford. Northeast downed trees help to set his instruments apart.
Once it's dry, the first thing I do is shape the outside. Once I get a rough shape, I split them in half on a bandsaw, carve out each side, and glue them back together. From there, I'll sand both the inside, the outside, add any artwork, and then finish work. The last step is tuning. So from the mouthpiece end, by cutting away wood, it will raise the pitch, or adding wood to it will lower the pitch, and that's how I can fine tune it.
Unique pieces of art and working instrument when the last layer is sealed. He also offers sound medicine services, adding gongs and singing bowls to introduce sound vibration to the body.
So there's a lot of people who have trouble meditating. I feel like when you bring in sound in general, it really helps to quiet the mind and allows you to relax into your body. And when we do this, it allows us to let go of anxiety and stress, and it really just brings us to a natural state.
Stephen hopes that more people in the Northeast start to listen, play, and connect with the ancient didgeridoo.
The most rewarding part for me is, it doesn't matter if I'm playing didgeridoo or crafting didgeridoo. I find a great connection to source through the process. Like I connect with God or life force or whatever you want to call it. And that to me is very profound and it feels like a huge blessing.
The boomerang may have been made popular in Australia, but a Colebrook man has spent the last decade ensuring that the classic toy makes a comeback.
About 13 years ago, my wife asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I said, I'd like a boomerang. I haven't had one since I was a kid and never really knew if they worked or not. So I ordered one online, went outside and threw it, and to my amazement, it actually returned to me. So I studied that boomerang for 2 or 3 days, watching it fly, looking at the airfoils, realizing it's really no different than an airplane wing. And I started building my own designs. I put a few videos on YouTube, and the rest is history.
His YouTube channel, Boomerangs by Vic, has over 93,000 subscribers.
Hey everybody, welcome to Boomerangs by Vic.
Vic makes, tests, and sells his boomerangs from his North Country home, but his audience spans the globe.
All over the world. I've hit approximately 128 different countries, and I've sold to every single state in the United States.
All of Vic's boomerangs come with instructions. and he has dozens of how-to videos on his channel. He says no matter how hard he tries, some people still doubt that the toy will return.
I even tell him, I say, you're welcome to come to my house, stand right next to me when I throw a boomerang, and I guarantee when it comes back, you'll move out of the way and you'll realize that it's real. And it's really the excitement of watching it in the air. Something that can go that far out, like 120 feet away from the thrower, do a big, huge circle, and literally just, fall into your hands out of the sky from where you're standing. It's really miraculous when somebody sees it, for real in life.
Vic has beginner and advanced boomerangs, and some of his designs really stand out in a crowd.
I'm going to use my Warlock boomerang, and I'm going to throw this in my field and have it come back and break some eggs off my head.
He hopes to keep making and throwing boomerangs right into retirement, and encourages everyone to get outside and let it fly.
You don't need somebody out there to catch it and throw it back to you. You can just launch it out, and if you're good, you'll get it to come right back to your hands. Right now, everybody is trapped inside. They're on their electronic devices. This literally gets kids and adults outside.